A pleasant day to you all. This is Sandra Kapigan, and I am going to discuss community linkages, which is the sixth domain under the competency-based framework for Filipino teachers. Before I begin this lesson, below are the performance objectives that you will hopefully obtain after this presentation. First, identify the definition of community linkages as one of the 7 domains under the competency-based framework for Filipino teachers. Second, recognize a few community linkages that could support the school's learning objectives. Third, discover the importance of strengthening the links of both the school and the community for the development of their future students' education. Fourth, describe the benefits of including the community outside the school into the teaching and learning process to further improve one's efficacy as a teacher. And lastly, follow the guidelines and performance indicators on how to create a learning environment that incorporates linkages within the community. So what is the definition of community linkages? According to the National Competency-Based Teacher Standards, community linkages is defined as the idea that school activities are meaningfully linked to the experiences and aspirations of the students' homes and communities. Linkages means links or relations that are found within the community, and this domain is focused on the teacher's efforts being directed at strengthening the links between the schools and the community while still meeting the objectives that were established in the curriculum. Now that we have learned the definition and the concept behind the sixth domain, we shall now identify a few linkages that are commonly found within our locality. Of course, the first one are the parents. They are responsible for the development of values, attitudes, and habits of their children. Parents are also considered as advocates for their child's educational experience. And of course, we must include the teacher. Teachers continue to enrich the students' experiences. They strengthen the valuable personal traits and characteristics that were initially developed back at home. Lastly, we have the local government units, the non-government agencies, civic organizations, and all the residents within the community. All of them are highly motivated to participate in the school's activities and projects that will likewise uplift the quality of life of students in their locality. Either of them can also be used as a resource to further improve the quality of the teacher's classroom or school activities. So why is it important to establish a learning environment that includes the aspirations and experiences of the students' communities? Here is a quote from the former DepEd Secretary, Florencio Abad. "The problem of education is everyone's problem." He emphasizes the need for a collective responsibility in improving the quality of our school. Thus, we must build bridges between the school and the community. Next are the key questions from NCBTS that can serve as a guide for future educators like you. First question: are the goals and characteristics of the teaching learning activities that I implemented relevant to the experiences, values, and aspirations in my students' communities? It is highly essential for Filipino teachers to implement goals that are aligned to the students' community. In this way, it helps them achieve a civic responsibility and could also help to develop an ethic sense of service. This implementation can be essential to change or answer the needs found within their community. Second, can my students see how the goals and activities in school relate to the values and aspirations in their homes and communities? As a teacher, you ought to make an explicit and purposeful connection between the material being taught in a classroom and the local issues, contexts, and the concepts. Students will be able to see the connection through examples, like a scientific system may be explained using a sample taken from the local habitat or ecosystem and many others. Community-related connections can be used to enhance students' awareness and engagement. Third, do I draw from resources, ideas, and activities from my students' communities into my teaching and learning activities? Well, it is highly recommended for you to do so. Even if instructional goals originate from curriculum documents, students are more likely to achieve your assigned learning goals if teachers, like you, draw from a wide variety of resources from the community. Last, do I try to involve members of the community in supporting the learning goals of my classes? Yes, educators might take advantage of local experts by inviting them into the school to give presentations, participate in panel discussions, or mentor students who are working on a long-term research project. By considering all of these and including community linkages, it can improve your performance as a teacher. In this next slide, we will know the performance indicators under community linkages. This is very important. First, involve the community in sharing accountability for the learner's achievement. Educators need help and cooperation from other members of the community. School districts and states who invest in classroom resources can help support educators. Second, use community resources, both human and material, to support learning. Teachers, administrators, and community agencies are always looking for ways to foster partnerships. School budgets are getting smaller, and therefore searching for additional resources is the norm these days. Teachers must reach out to community members to volunteer and donate resources. Third, use the community as a laboratory for learning. The community is where the action is. Communities are rich with institutions of our culture, modes of living, ideas, issues, and real people and places. The community is the most vibrant teaching learning environment to be found that can help bridge the gap between what we know and what we do in education. Fourth, participate in community activities that promote learning. Community service can enhance students' problem-solving skills, improves their ability to work as a team, and enables them to plan more effectively. Another benefit of service learning is that more people are more likely to remain engaged when they can see that their active participation is affecting change. Use community networks to publicize school events and achievements. One factor in using community networks for school publicity is that it can increase the public awareness when it comes to the organization or event. In addition, it motivates the community to further continue their venture on strengthening their relationships with the school because of the achievements that were garnered. So now we ask ourselves, what are the additional benefits under community linkages? According to Ms. Elizabeth Yamal, a teacher at Betis High School, Pampanga, building quality relationships with all the stakeholders in the community allows the school to nurture its students to answer for our particular community needs. After all, community is used as a context for teaching and learning, so schools can initiate projects like feeding programs and cleanup drives that are beneficial for the community. Second, when families, community groups, businesses, and schools band together to support learning, young people achieve more in school, stay in school longer, and can enjoy the experience even more. We must engage parents and local units to at least be involved with the existing and future courses of actions of the school. Third, Teachers who have good community relations are more motivated to teach and provide opportunities for better learning. Every community has resources that support learning. Thus, educators must be thoroughly aware of these to tap and utilize them when needed. Fourth, teachers have the power to break the cycle of financial difficulty by tapping community resources. Municipal officials are likewise ready to help, not only in providing physical facilities of the school, but also in paying the salaries of the teachers who for the moment do not have teacher items. When schools and community organizations work together to support learning, everyone benefits. Partnerships can strengthen, support, and even transform individuals, which results in a better alignment of goals and curricula. That would be all for community linkages. To test if you can follow the guidelines that are given, you'll have to answer the assessment at the end of this group video presentation. Thank you for listening and may God bless you. Now you may move on to the seventh domain.